Alright guys, so this is day 2 of installing the live axle on the go-kart, and the first thing we have to do is go and buy some chain so that we can have the engine hooked up and be able to center the engine with the sprocket with the chain. Hey guys, we're gonna go into the family farm and home to see if we can find the right chain for the sprocket, and hopefully we'll be able to find that. So we're gonna go in right now. I went to this one guy and he was like, store manager, and he was like, oh yeah, go over to the chain, and he took me over to like actual chains, like for pulling stuff, and I was like, yeah, thank you. It wasn't the right thing, so I was just kind of like, I went and asked another guy, and look what I found. The other guy knew exactly what he was talking about, so he sent me over to the chains, and I got a 10-foot length for 22 bucks of 40 chain, and it's literally perfect. It's got 2 connecting links, and it's exactly what I need, so let's get out of here. Alright guys, now that we have that chain, I'm going to break down kind of what we're doing today with the project and what I've done so far. Alright guys, so in the last video, we had the live axle on, but we didn't have any of the engine mounts or anything. This is not bolted on, it's actually clamped on by this clamp right here. And if you go down here, I'll show you kind of what I did. I cut into, see this piece right here, there's another piece here, and I cut into it with 2 slots, and then I mounted 2 pieces of metal identical to this on the bottom of the engine. I also welded those 2 little pieces of metal going across onto this, just to give the whole situation more stabilization, so that when I go to weld this piece onto here, I also have this whole length that I can weld it to. I also tightened this sprocket down onto the shaft, and it literally, when it spins, it literally has no movement. But one thing I haven't done is put the key inside of this shaft and like grind out a little slot for the key. So that's another thing we're going to be working on before it can actually drive. And if you look here, this sprocket comes up and the clutch is slightly over to this side, and I basically need to pull the engine out a little bit, and then I also need to weld it clamped like that, so then the whole engine's tilted up a little bit more. Today we also will be welding those bolts on and getting it so the tire moves with the axle. I think we're good. So literally, it's holding, I think. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Look at that beast. So actually, if you notice, this engine's mounted opposite of literally like every engine on the planet. And that's because the whole thing runs backwards. So it runs this way instead of on this side it running this way. I just have to finish those welds, tack up the 2 wheels, make sure they're welded on, and then get that big chain that we just bought and mount it right there, because that is just some extra chain I just have there as a template. Put the chain on, weld the 2 wheels so they're on correctly, and then the last thing would be to put the keyway in the sprocket. After that, I'm pretty much done, but then I have to like add like the throttle cable and all that other stuff. So, but we'll worry about that later. I'm just trying to get this engine mounted up. Alright guys, so we finished up those welds, so the engine is officially done, and it's time to move on to the tires and the sprocket. One thing I might do actually right now is actually get the chain mounted up, so then I know officially that the whole chain setup will work, and that doesn't need to be moved around a little bit. So that'll probably be the next step. Alright guys, so I got my handy dandy little chain breaker here, and I got a bunch of chain over there, and now we're just gonna pop the chain on. Alright guys, the store that I went to get this was just Family Farm and Home, and they gave me like a ton. I bought it for like 20 bucks and they gave me like 5 feet. They gave me like so much that this will be worth for like multiple projects. So we're just gonna go and we're gonna fit this on and we're gonna chain break it and get it all set up. Alright guys, so we have the chain all fit and we're just waiting to put that master link on, and the rest of the chain is just chilling over there in the vise, so we gotta deal with that. So the next step will be to connect that master link and finish off the chain. Boom, and we got it on. So the next step would be just a couple finishing touches. Right here, this thing still doesn't have like the inside like keyway thing. This wheel I kind of messed up on because I was in a hurry. This side I got right. I basically welded the bolt on the other side and then I screwed this one on, which is the correct format. This side I welded the outside too, but I was actually supposed to weld the inside. So I need to somehow get this wheel cranked on correctly so that it'll work correctly. Alright guys, so I went and I cranked the bolt on this side of the wheel just temporarily because it's on stands and I just wanted to try it out. I went to start it and it worked. This side worked well. This side unthreaded and it threw the chain immediately. I mean, this is not a good alignment anyways. I'll probably have to get a tensioner. There's just a lot of problems with this. But this thing is going to be a ripper when it's done. It is so sick and I cannot wait until this thing's finished. I just need to finish up a couple little details that are not important. And I have to figure out the throttle, get a spring for that, and just a lot of small details that aren't interesting to watch. But other than that, I hope you guys like this video. Please like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to receive further videos on this channel. Definitely hit that subscribe button because it always gives me encouragement. I hope you guys like this video and I'll see y'all next time.